A war over the NECW Tag Team Championship, the status of the NECW Television Championship, and the Masshole Mike McCarthy in one of his highest profile matches to date. All that and more coming your way next, right here on New England Championship Wrestling. Take you back to January 2015 at the Everett Rec Center. The NECW Tag Team Championship on the line as champions DC Dillinger and Nick Farenheight take on the end in an anything goes match. The action starts off hot and heavy. Both teams going at it hammer and tong. The end getting knocked over the top by Dillinger and Farenheight. There you see the manager, Mr. Tony Ulysses, on the outside. Dillinger fakes going over the top. Here comes Farenheight to the outside. Caught by the end. But Dillinger gets into the act and knocks them down. The brutal chair shots delivered by Nick Farenheight on Mr. Six and Jacob of the end. The carnage in this matchup, completely expected. Farenheight now sends Jacob down to the canvas. Mr. Six has the chair. Farenheight with a drop kick. Six gets bowled over. DC Dillinger later in the match getting tied up by Mr. Tony Ulysses. Mr. Six with the chair across the neck of DC Dillinger. Dillinger never really getting on track in this matchup as Mr. Tony Ulysses goes back to work on one half of the NECW Tag Team Champions, DC Dillinger. Farenheight down on the opposite side as Big Jacob with a boot right across the throat of DC Dillinger, much to the delight of Mr. Tony Ulysses. The trio of the end and Mr. Tony Ulysses giving Dillinger and Farenheight all they could handle, not to be unexpected in this matchup. Look at Farenheight fighting back. But the end are just too much. The end really going to work now with Dillinger tied up. Farenheight taking a lot of punishment right here. Farenheight now off the ropes. Jacob has him up. Drills him right across that chair, and Mr. Six on top of him for good measure. Here's the cover. Not much of a cover, though. Referee Chris Bartolo, dazed. Trying to get his wits about him. Once again, Nick Farenheight, one half of the NECW Tag Team Champions, has held the title with two different partners. Six has Farenheight up, and Jacob drills him, stuffed pile driver into the canvas. Jacob with a cover, and this will do it. Let's go to Kevin Castro with post-match comments.
Tony Ulysses, once again, the end are the NECW Tag Team Champions.
Happy New Year. And what are we holding here, Kev? NECW Tag Team Championship belts, as only Tony Ulysses can do. You see, I've had these guys in strict training. They didn't have Christmas break. I had them training razor sharp. And here we are, end result, NECW Tag Team Champions. You know what, Kevin? You can line them up, and we'll just knock them down, as only the end can do. As I told you before, Kev, and you're the only one that believes in me, the end is here. The end is now. The end is forever. Anybody wants to step in a ring with the end, and Tony Ulysses will get one thing. Smackdown! Be quiet. Let's go.
New England Championship Wrestling returns live Saturday night, April 11th at the Everett Rec Center, 47 Elm Street, Everett, Mass. with a 7:30 bell time. In the main event, former NECW Heavyweight Champion Slick Wagner Brown returns to action, taking on the Masshole Mike McCarthy in a #1 contenders match. Total Loco and sensational Scott Levesque battle it out for the vacant NECW Television Championship. Mistress Belmont defends the Triple W Championship against former champion Damien in a return grudge match. NECW Tag Team Champions The End with Mr. Tony Ulysses defend the titles in an open challenge. The one-man lynch mob Jack Maverick squares off against Genesis in a grudge match, plus more matches to be announced. Tickets are on sale now, online at NECW.tv or call 1-800-838-3006. That's 1-800-838-3006. Don't miss New England Championship Wrestling when it returns to live action Saturday night, April 11th in Everett.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, and you're watching New England Championship Wrestling, and that's not a bad thing, that's bang! A good thing.
In an NECW breaking news update, NECW Television Champion Bo Douglas surrendered the title on January 10th due to a serious back injury. That injury required surgery that took place recently, and Douglas's in-ring career with NECW could very well be at an end. On Saturday night, April 11th, the top two contenders for the TV title, former champion Toto Loco and sensational Scott Levesque, will square off, with the winner becoming the new champion. Once again, we take you back to January 10th, 2015, the special challenge match between the Masshole Mike McCarthy and fourth-generation wrestler. You see him right there, David Finlay. He is the son of WCW and WWE legend Fit Finlay, a fourth-generation wrestler as he gets set to take on the pride of NECW, the Masshole himself, Mike McCarthy. What a test for the Masshole this week here on New England Championship Wrestling. An interesting matchup on many, many levels. As we get set for action, we're going to take you to it right here. Collar and elbow tie-up. Two young men, pretty much the same size. No man having a real conditioning edge. Finlay with a nice single leg takedown as he works on the leg of the Masshole Mike McCarthy. You're going to see Finlay go to this modified version of the figure four. This is a submission maneuver. Oh man, McCarthy gets out of it with a big chop. The Masshole, a wily veteran. And while Finlay is a relative youngster, he's got a pedigree second to none. Finlay taking down McCarthy, goes for the cover and only gets one. Finlay now with a front chancery on the Masshole Mike McCarthy. The referee is Barbara Mahoney. McCarthy now in the corner. Finlay has him backed up. Referee Barbara Mahoney trying to get a break here. And Finlay breaks it up a little later in the matchup. McCarthy with a quick knee to the midsection and another. Masshole Mike McCarthy hot on the heels of the NECW Heavyweight Champion Brad Hollister as he chops Finlay back into the corner. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Big chop by McCarthy. A little bit later, nice trip out by Dave Finlay. Finlay once again tying up the legs, going for that submission. Finlay getting clamped on right here. Finlay rolls over and goes back to it. Pain etched on the face of the Masshole, Mike McCarthy. And later in the matchup, McCarthy manages to escape and goes back on the attack. McCarthy setting up Finlay right here for the CTFO. Can he lock it in? Yes, he can. Finlay trying to hang on here. This maneuver has put away many an opponent for the Masshole Mike McCarthy. Could Finlay be out here? No, he's not. Finlay fighting back here. The strength of Dave Finlay saving him in this situation as he drives McCarthy back into the corner. McCarthy on the shoulders of Dave Finlay. Finlay drops him down into a cover, but only two. Dancer in New England Championship Wrestling getting treated to a very unusual matchup. Not seeing the same guys in the same matches for the last 8 years. Here comes Finlay, and McCarthy hits him with an elbow. Kick right to the jaw of Dave Finlay. McCarthy now going upstairs. McCarthy drops down on Finlay, drills him into the canvas. Here's a cover. This could do it, but only two. A fantastic matchup between two fantastic athletes as young David Finlay attempts to make a name for himself. And the Masshole Mike McCarthy looking to put a big feather in his cap this week. McCarthy measuring Finlay. But Finlay goes for the small package, has him down, only gets two. McCarthy going for the backslide. Finlay down, only two. Victory roll by Finlay, has him locked up, but only two. Quick near falls between McCarthy and Finlay. McCarthy now rolling Finlay up into a pinning combination. 2 count only. Finlay charges in and misses. McCarthy misses. Both men nail each other and crash down to the canvas. Both men trying to come around here. A tremendous back and forth matchup here in New England Championship Wrestling. McCarthy up to his feet. Finlay on the outside, shoulder block to the midsection. Finlay goes for the sunset flip, but McCarthy ties him up, holds him down, and gets the 3. A stunning victory for the Masshole Mike McCarthy, and let's get the official word from Chris Norman. A big matchup for both of these individuals as McCarthy takes the mic.
He's a dum-dum. Whenever we come here, once a month, and you people support me, no matter what I do, and for that I thank you. But let's give David Finlay a round of applause.
A well-deserved ovation for a fine young man.
I come from a long line of good professional wrestlers, but tonight, I didn't need to rely on them. You're a man, and for that, I seriously appreciate it.
What a terrific show of sportsmanship by the Masshole Mike McCarthy. Hopefully we have not seen the last of this great fourth-generation wrestler, this fine young man, David Finlay. There is more New England Championship Wrestling just ahead when we continue after this. New England Championship Wrestling returns live Saturday night, April 11th at the Everett Rec Center, 47 Elm Street, Everett, Mass, with a 7:30 bell time. In the main event, former NECW Heavyweight Champion Slick Wagner Brown returns to action, taking on the Masshole Mike McCarthy in a #1 contenders match. Total Loco and sensational Scott Levesque battle it out for the vacant NECW Television Championship. Mistress Belmont defends the Triple W Championship against former champion Damien in a return grudge match. NECW Tag Team Champions The End with Mr. Tony Ulysses defend the titles in an open challenge. The one-man lynch mob Jack Maverick squares off against Genesis in a grudge match, plus more matches to be announced. Tickets are on sale now, online at NECW.tv or call 1-800-838-3006. That's 1-800-838-3006. Don't miss New England Championship Wrestling when it returns to live action Saturday night, April 11th in Everett. When New England Championship Wrestling returns to live action in Everett on Saturday night, April 11th, conspicuous by his absence will be the NECW Heavyweight Champion, Brad Hollister. Hollister had a lot to say about his absence and the #1 contenders match that will be the main event between the Masshole Mike McCarthy and the returning former champion, Slick Wagner Brown.
I'm going to cut straight to it. Ladies and gentlemen of NECW, I have to hit you guys with some unfortunate news. Unfortunately, April 11th will be the first time since I joined NECW I can't make an event. I want to apologize to all the fans. I want to apologize to the bigwigs in the back. I want to apologize to all the boys in the back, especially Mike McCarthy. Mike, you really did deserve this title match. And I know you're going against Slick for a #1 contendership shot, but in my eyes, both you guys earned a title shot. Slick, you never lost the belt. You earned it too. So, you really are fighting to see who goes against me first. When I won this NECW Championship, I said I will be the most fighting champion in this company's history. I made no bones about it. That's exactly what I have been. So once I return in May, whether it's Slick or Mike McCarthy that I have to go against, I will continue to fight. And there's nobody that could take this title off my shoulder.